Good morning. So I don't have a lot of time this morning for a video, but I was thinking that I could just make a short one, so I get out my Jeep and I go start off on my journey for my errands for the day and everything I need to do. And I have these cards that are still in my Jeep, the Buddha doodles, and I thought, yeah, I'll get some inspiration from those, right? Well, the first four that I came across went together, and I thought, this is great because they, collectively, all together, they present a message, and I thought that must be what I meant to share. And of course, from there, you know how the mind works. You start recalling, other related various things that you've experienced, heard, and seen throughout your life, and you start to have this fuller story or message come together, right? Okay. So as I'm pulling together this message, it's, as is usual for me, something that is really deserving of more time than I have to give it today. But that being said, I still want to share what I came across because I feel called, and I feel like maybe there's something in it that would benefit you, right? Kind of like, I think sometimes things are just divinely orchestrated, and I think that certain people and messages and experiences and all this is placed on our path for a reason, so and I'm not one of these people, and I'm not trying to judge, but I'm sure you've seen a lot of these videos on YouTube that just randomly pop up in your feed, and they'll even put it in the title where they're like, you're meant to hear this. And it's like, maybe that's true, maybe not. Maybe it's literally just a marketing tactic to get you to click on the video, and so I'm certainly not trying to do that. But I do think sometimes things are meant to be, even things that seem small, at first, and then it's like layers, of revelations that can come from a small moment sometimes, or what at first seemed insignificant can become very significant later. So anyway, there's my long tangent. But the cards, let me start with those because that's where I started with gathering my message for you all today. The first one is relax. And, and I so appreciate her, the artist's efforts, and I love her little artwork and her messages. Relax. And this is something that you can't just tell a person when they're in the middle of an anxious moment or an anxious period in their life. Just relax. That can feel kind of, I don't know if the word's patronizing or what, but it can just kind of feel like you're totally insensitive. So I'm not meaning it in that manner. I'm actually meaning it like, it'll all come together as I move forward, but, just a surrendering, an act of surrendering, just coming to a place of non-resistance, overall, that, life, again, this was something that my yoga teacher shared with me. I think it was earlier, just a few months ago, earlier this year, or may have been last year, but she said, just a shift in your mindset can help you, going from life is happening to you to life is happening for you. So it's sort of like trusting the process, it's if you want to rub the Bible into this, it's where it talks about how God takes care of the flowers and the birds, and there's it's kind of like, why would he not do that for us is the point. And if I can find the verse, I'll drop it. It's a pretty popular verse, but I'm just putting it in my words. But essentially, it's kind of like, how much more, does God care for us and take care of us? So in other words, we're not supposed to worry about tomorrow because it says for tomorrow will take care of itself. Kind of like that, right? An act of surrendering. So there's an invitation, I would say, every day for us to shift consciously, intentionally into that mindset, and just relax. It's really faith in action. you know, and it's easier said than done for sure. But just a reminder, even if you can just find little pockets or moments where you consciously just, you know, release tension in your shoulders and take a deep breath, whatever it takes, even if it's just a few moments throughout your day to bring that peace into your life, it's worth it, right? The second card is everything is sacred. This is just a mindset that's kind of like a philosophy you can implement in your life, and it's just mindfulness. It's just you know, coming to a place where you might even bring gratitude into it and appreciate the fact that you even have a bed to make up. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of appreciating the little things. That's the way I see it, you know. It's kind of like there's this meme that's been floating around for a few years, and it's where this there's two guys on a bus. They're cartoonified. That one of them is staring at the cliffs and you know, out the window of the bus at the rocky cliff right next to him, and he's just, you know, depressed and anxious, and I forget what the little thought bubble says above his head, but it's just some kind of negative thought. And then over here, this guy's looking out the window with his camera, and he's smiling and happy, you know, and it's kind of like illustrating the fact that we have a choice every day. So like when you're making your bed, if you put a bunch of throw pillows on there, for example, you might view that like, you know, why do I even, you know, waste my time putting these pillows on and off the bed every day? You know, it's just kind of like, or maybe you don't even make up your bed because it's just too much of a hassle, and there's no judgment there because I've done that too a lot in my life. But just a shift in your mindset can make it where it's like you're glad and happy to make up your bed, because just for a small amount of effort every day, you have something nice to look at. You bring just a little bit of joy into your environment. You know what I mean? And it just kind of gives you something pretty to look at throughout your day. So you can look at everything that you do as an opportunity for bringing more peace and joy into your life. And in so doing, I would say, you know, you're getting more into the numinous aspect of life. And so I like how she says everything is sacred, because it can be. The other card is savor the moment, which is just right in alignment with the last one I shared, right? Because life is nothing but a series of moments strung together, right? That's pretty much it. And so it's just a reminder. It's just a reminder that life is, in fact, very fleeting, right? And then finally, all will come. And this is, again, just a mindset of faith that what's meant for you will find its way to you. I don't think that means everything's going to fall into your lap effortlessly, but I think that it's just a place of surrender and faith and trusting that what's meant to be will be. Like that old song, Que sera, sera. What will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Que sera, sera. And so, even in this one statement, you know, there can be an attitude of anxiety about the future, or an attitude of faith and trust. So, in coming up with a message, I was looking at the first letter of each of these cards. You know, so we have relax, which is R. We have everything is sacred, which is E. And then we have the last one I've already forgotten, savor each moment, which is S. And then all will come, which is A. And I was like, I wonder if you could make, I think it's called an acronym out of those first letters, you know, RESA. And I looked it up, and apparently it means runway end safety area, which is just an acronym in the airline industry for literally the safety areas, the extensions on a runway for safety. And I thought that's cool, because it's kind of like these cards to me represent a philosophy. And to me, a philosophy, as opposed to a religion or spiritual belief, is really just a chosen approach to life, and the way you literally choose to engage with life and do your life. That's how I see philosophy. It's kind of like a little philosophy for you, you know, in those times in your life when the runway, if that's symbolic or metaphorical for your life, is not really being used. Maybe it's just kind of your life has slowed down. It's downtime in your life. It's a transition stage in your life. It's just a time in your life when maybe, some things have come to an end and the beginning of something new hasn't yet started, and you're kind of like placed in this position to choose between anxiety or faith. And so this is a great strategy for that. Just finding that safety area that's outside of the runway, right? Those safety areas are really not meant to be active. They're meant to just provide support, right, for the active area. Same thing with your life. Just finding a philosophy you can put into action for I guess kind of the safety areas in your life. What came to my mind was the phrase "in the meantime." In the meantime, it's kind of like that may resonate with you. I don't know, it may not, but I think there's times in our life when we feel like we are living in the meantime. And what's interesting is actually there's an old song from the 90s called "In the Meantime," and it's just from a band called Spacehog. It was really, back in the 90s, I didn't have cable TV, right? When I was in high school and still at home with my parents and everything, we didn't have cable TV. And so I didn't have access to music videos and things like that, which, and I like a lot of people, a lot of the kids in school, they watched like Beverly Hills 90210. I wasn't able to see that and stuff like that. So I feel like I, missed out on a lot, but really, it was kind of cool with regards to the music videos, because come to find out, when I finally did get cable TV and started, the internet was more of a thing and started having access to music videos, it's like they were pretty bizarre. And the only thing I can make sense of is that, I guess, just like stories that are meant to be symbolic and make a strong impression on you, like deeply, like an imprint on you that's not easily forgettable. I think that whether it's a movie or a song, if it's music or a music video or whatever it is, I think that you can exemplify extremes in symbolism to get a message across. But when you do that, when it's kind of wrapped up in these symbols, the message is kind of hidden and secret, and you have to work at it to figure out what it is. And so it's also up to interpretation, from each one of us. But yeah, it's and there's a lot I could say about the lyrics in that song, because see, that's what I did when I was a kid. All I had was the music. I didn't have the videos to go with it, so I made of it what I did. I didn't have any influence, which was kind of cool in a way, because then it can speak to you more in a personal way. You're not going to recall the imagery that's given to you. It's just, the message is just that, and it's more personal that way. And so but I think that there's a lot I could say about that song. But yeah, in the meantime, I think that we are situated as such that we can choose to approach life from a place of, when the runway's not being used and there's an extension, right? There's a safety area or a resting time, a resting period in your life, whatever it is. You can choose to be, if there's not a lot in your present, then I think our tendency is to go towards the future and the past naturally. So it takes more effort to be in the present moment when things are kind of slowed down. But I think that that creates the opportunity for discipline that you can then carry into the active stages of your life, and that will serve you very well, because now you're going to really pay attention. You're going to have learned how to be in the moment intentionally, be present mindfully. So it's that mindfulness and that intention that you are cultivating during this downtime. And I just encourage you to do that, because it's going to keep you busy just doing mundane things like making up your bed. It will just keep your mind busy, and it will keep you from being stuck on the past or being anxious about the future. So it just came to me today, and I just wanted to share that with you all. And I'll just keep it short. Y'all know, which is really hard for me, but I hope that you still somehow found value in the message. And I just thank you so much for coming along to hear it. I hope that you have a beautiful day. I'll probably have another video out for you all either Friday or Saturday. If you're watching this same day I've filmed it. And again, thank you. Have a beautiful day, and I'll see you again very soon.